Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. So today's video is basically a January wrap-up video for my Pan Those Books. I didn't really film a reading vlog for January. I kind of just jumped into reading and finishing as many books as I possibly could in that span. All right, so it is actually February 5th as I'm filming this today, and it's obviously later than January, but I really wanted to I just wanted to dive in and try to finish as many books as I could before filming this little update for you guys. So let's get into it. So if you guys haven't been here since the beginning of this project, it's basically a Pan Those Books. So I'm a part of the panning community, sort of. I do project pans where I try to use up my makeup and get real good progress on most of them. And I really wanted to do something like this with my books because I have an incredible amount for a girl who stopped reading a couple of years ago. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of get use out of my books and actually read them and then figure out if I even want to keep them, if they're worth it. And so that's basically the whole point of this project, is to read the books that have been on my to be read list for so long and all that good stuff. Anyways, I just wanted to say, if you guys are interested in seeing what I read and what I'm going to be rolling in for the month of February, then please stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe as well as like and comment down below. All right, let's get to it. All right, so starting with last month. Okay, so 4 of the books that I had initially put in for my January TBR Pan Those Books series, I actually did finish. There was one of them that I really couldn't finish. Like, I started it and then I was like, you know what, I'm really not, it's gonna sound terrible, I'm not in the mood for it. The first book that I did not actually finish was All the Light We Cannot See. I don't remember who that's, Anthony Doerr, I believe. I was not in the mood for depressing stuff, if I'm gonna be honest. So it is about Nazis, Paris. You get the gist. I don't really want to go into it because I'm not really in the mood for that at the moment. I would rather be happy when I'm reading, and I don't want to put myself in a little funk. Let me know if you guys have actually read that book and if it's really, really good, and I'll just go into it. But other than that, I don't really know. All right, so the first book I want to talk about is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. This one was initially in my January TBR, and I finished it. I had it in the middle portion. I had finished half of the book like 3 years ago, or like not 3 years ago, but like 2 years ago, and I wanted to start over. So I basically just started over again with this book because I was like, well, you know, I don't really remember anything. And so I started it. I was really cringing at some spoiler things that are in this book. So I'm actually not going to spoil the book for you, but I did not like something that was in here and it grossed me out. So for some reason, I guess I'm somebody who gets intrigued when I'm grossed out. So I was like, I need to know where this goes. And so I got to this book and then I finished it. And then I went on to the second book, which is The City of Ashes. And I also finished it. Then to the third book, which is City of Glass by Cassandra Clare, and I finished it. So basically, all 3 of these books were finished because I was disgusted. That is literally the reason I finished all of these books. I was like, oh, that's so gross. I need to read them and figure out what is going on. But also, I'm really motivated to get to the Bane Chronicles. I really wanted to get to the Bane Chronicles, but I talked to Emily here on YouTube as well. She does panning as well as books, and she has a little mommy channel, and it's so cute. I love watching all of her videos. She's so adorable. I'll link her down below because, you guys, she's so sweet and she's such a good person. I just really need you guys to like click there and like follow, or at least like watch her video, and you'll just follow on your own, okay? So basically, I started City of Bones because I wanted to watch the Bane Chronicles, because I wanted to read the Bane Chronicles, but that didn't happen because it turns out the whole order of this is not, you can't just, well, I guess you can do whatever you want, but the Mortal Instruments isn't necessarily in order. I don't really know. I mean, I thought I could just read all the Mortal Instruments and then the Bane Chronicles, but turns out there's other books and publication dates that will give you spoilers for other things. So I don't know. I will just put the list that I found here because I don't know what to do with that information. Anyways, so yeah, so these 3 books were finished in the month of January and I was so excited. I'm waiting, I don't remember what it's called. So I can't remember what it's called, but I am waiting for the 4th book, technically in order of publication. I'll put the list here. I'm waiting for that 4th book to come in from the library and then I will read it. But at the moment, I'm not necessarily thinking I'll get to it at all this month because I do have other books. Okay, so the next book is The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. It is just a poem book of Robert Frost poems, which you can never go wrong with, in my opinion. I mean, like, they're really beautiful poems that, I mean, I enjoy. I guess I really enjoy it, and Robert Frost is such a great poet, so I really liked it. I'm actually planning on giving all of my poem books to my friend once I finish reading them all, because they all came in a collection and I'd rather just keep it that way and give it to her because I'm not going to reread them probably. So I'm looking forward to finishing all my poem books because I have like 17 of them, probably more. I'm not too sure, but really excited that I got this one read. I think I read this before, but I also don't know anymore because all of the poem books I have are mixed with, like, they all have similar poems in there or the same ones. All right, so we're gonna be moving on to the next one, which is African American poetry. And this is from 1773 to 1927. So this is just a mixture of a bunch of different African American poets who, oh my God, blow me away with these poems. They are so beautiful. If you guys have not read any poems by African American poets, then I really suggest that even if you just go online and just like look up the best African American poets and then look up their poems, honestly, I think from it being from 1773 to 1927, you do get a really good look at, you know, the struggles and the pain that they went through, and it's just amazing. I don't really know how to talk about poems because it's just when I read them that I just like absorb myself into them. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I really enjoy poems, and this one was no exception. It was probably one of my favorite poem books that I've read in a really long time. Speaking of poem books, and I just talked about possibly my favorite poem book ever to exist. Let's talk about my least favorite poem book. Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. I don't want to be mean, but this is not poetry. I don't know. I don't know how to not be mean. It just feels like it's sayings. Like they're just, some of these things I've said to my friends at some point, like just, oh, like a casual conversation and whatever. Like, let me just open up to a random page. There we go. Okay, so I opened up to a page. Random page, okay? You whisper, I love you. What you mean is, I don't want you to leave. I don't see how that's a poem, but like whatever, okay? Like I don't care. I guess I can't really care. It's so frustrating to see like not all, but a lot of my friends when I was like, I don't know, and I had friends, a lot of my friends would be like, oh my God, the best poem book I've ever read. I just want to say, my friends don't know poems is all I'm gonna say. Like I had no idea who Rupi Kaur was. Okay, but Milk and Honey was just not it for me. Okay, so the next 2 books are actually from the library that I do not have with me because I returned them, but I will put some photos here. So the next book is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. I just need to say this, okay? I love this book, okay? It is weirdly corny and like weird, but I'm like here for it. I don't know. It was just so nice and interesting, and I was like, I need this in my life. And I was like absorbed when I was reading it. I was like, I need to finish this. I need to finish this. It's so interesting. And so I just kept diving into it. And I was like, this is amazing. And I cannot wait for the other book that is coming out soon, I think, or maybe it just came out. So if you guys are looking for a nice little like fairy tale, like a dark fairy tale, sort of. It's not super dark, but it's like a darker fairy tale world. I really think that The Hazelwood is a good one for that. So anyways, I thought The Hazelwood was such a good book. It kept me entertained the entire time. And even when I would go on a break and I'd take like a break and I'd go back to it the next few days, like I still enjoyed it. It was still a really good read. So the last book that I read in the month of January was actually not in the month of January. I actually finished it February 2nd, but I'm counting it as in January because I started it and almost finished it and then I couldn't get to finishing it. So that is also from the library, so I won't be showing that to you. I will just be putting a photo up here, but it is Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, I think. Yeah, Jay Kristoff is also there, but oh my goodness. Wow, that book was actually amazing. I don't know why. I think it's just because, I don't know, I'm in the mood for like space stuff. I'm just so happy with Aurora Rising, which I am so thankful that they call her Ori, because in my head, even saying Aurora, it doesn't work. It just like, it feels weird coming out and it feels weird in my head. I don't know. So I'm just glad that when I was reading it, it says Ori, 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 because it's just easier. So those were all the books that I ended up reading in the month of January. And then I am going to move on to the books I plan on reading in the month of February. Okay, so the first book that I plan on reading, well, second book, but it's the first one I want to show you guys because I'm most excited about it, is Christy by Samantha March. This is an ebook, obviously because my Kindle, but this is an ebook. So Samantha March, it's from the 6 series I think she has going on. I think she only has 3 of these, I believe, from the 6 series, but this is Christy by Samantha March. Samantha March is a project planner, beauty guru, lifestyle person. I don't know, anything. She's just so awesome. This is Christy by Samantha March. I think this is the first book in her series. So I'm really looking forward to reading Samantha March's books because I really want to support her in any way that I can. And yeah, I guess that's it. Plus, I'm not too sure, but like I kind of think that it's like romance, not sure, but even if it's just like friendship, that's a great thing to read in the month of February. So I don't really mind. Regardless, I think it'll be a great book for the month of February, and I'm just excited. I bought it this morning. So I am hoping that I can read it and then order the next books because I'm really excited to be able to support her because I found her like 6 months ago probably, and I have nonstop been watching all of her videos. So there's that. So the next book is actually still at the library, so I'm gonna put it right here, but the next book I want to read is Normal People by Sally Rooney. Oh my gosh, I have heard such good things. I literally don't remember anything that anyone says about this book. I just remember a lot of people saying, this is a really good book. So the next book is actually a book that I did read before. I don't recall anything about it because I read it, I think like 5 years ago. I'm not even sure. It seems like it's been about 5 years if I'm being honest. But it is Adam Braun's The Promise of a Pencil. And I'm actually listening to the audiobook, so I'm not physically reading the book, but I thought it'd be a nice refresher. So far, I remember some stuff. I'm only like 20 minutes in, so it's not like crazy, but I remember seeing some things and I'm like, oh yeah, like hearing things. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I'm remembering the story little by little. So I'm really excited because I know that the last time I read it, he really inspired me. And I don't know. It was just, I want that inspiration again. So I'm trying to do rereads because I've been seeing a lot of like booktubers and they're doing rereads of books that they really loved or want refreshers on. And I'm like, might as well try it. You know, I'm not somebody who's a rereader, but if I listen to the audiobook, I think that's good. The only book I've ever reread was I Am That Girl by Alexis Jones, but because I just really love that book. That book's been a reread multiple times, but yeah, so that's awesome. So moving on to the next book. So I read the first book in the side series. Now this is the second one. This is about the cloud. I'm not going to go into detail about anything, but it's just about the clouds. It's basically the cloud's point of view. So because the cloud sees everything, you're seeing everything too. I'm only on page 58, but I do plan on reading this all in the matter of like a few days, or at least a week, because Neil Shusterman is coming to a Barnes & Noble near me. So I'm really excited for that. I think it's such an awesome thing. Like I wasn't going to read the rest of the side series until I finished all of my books because that was supposed to be my reward. But then when we walked into Barnes & Noble, my husband and I was like, no way. Like I saw his face and I was like, oh, he looks familiar. And then I saw the name and I was like, ah! And I basically freaked out. I was like, oh my God, I need this in my life right now. I don't think I'll be able to read Thunderhead and The Toll as well as get to my other books. So we will see. I don't know. Okay, so the next book is not really that big of a deal for me to read. I do want to read it because it's been in my collection for so long, but it is Cujo by Stephen King. I think that this is one of those books that I need to read at some point, and like I only got to page 20 and then I was like, whoa, and then I just stopped reading it. I picked up another book and I started reading that one, and then this was actually it. This is what stopped me from reading Cujo. So basically I really want to get this book read because it'd be awesome if I could do that. I think my goal is to just like read a little bit of it, and if I continue to be like, meh, then I just won't pick it up again. But I do want to try at least, yeah, at least once this month. Okay, so the last book that I want to talk about is not a book that anyone's probably interested in, but it is something that I want to hold myself accountable for. So I am, so I'm gonna put it in here so that I can like have a goal to read like 20-30 pages a month. Yeah. So basically, it's the real estate licensing exam. It's a lot, okay? And it's like the majority of it, that looked like nothing, but it's the majority of it is like definitions and stuff like that. So when I say I want to read about 20 pages, it means I want to read and absorb all of those definitions and the legal terms and everything that I need. And then as well as reading it, I want to make like my little cards and then test myself with those. So I feel like that is doable if I push myself and slow down with my other reading. And also I'm actually hoping to have a job that I just interviewed for. So if I get that one, great. If not, sucks, but whatever, like that's okay. So that would be taking a lot of time out of my reading schedule, I guess. But I do really think that this is something I want to get read. I know this is a weird thing to put in my Pan Those Books and TBR series, but I do need to read it. And I thought, whatever, it's my channel. I decide what goes up, so I'm putting it in. So I hope you guys liked this video, and if you guys did, then be sure to like and subscribe and comment down below if you guys are also doing something similar to this project. And if you're not and you're interested, then feel free, just let me know so that I can watch it. And anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!